Well, Ann Coulter, of course, the best-selling author. You can just go to anncoulter.com. You can get her books. You can get her column. You can follow her on Twitter. anncoulter.com's got everything there. Ann Coulter, how you doing?
Fantastic. How are you, Mark Simone?
Well, I was up late watching that CNN town hall with Joe Biden. That was riveting television.
Oh, good. I didn't see it.
Oh, they talked to him like he's a little baby. They actually said, what's it like living in the White House? You know, that's a question you're supposed to ask the kids of the president, not the president.
I know. It was just like this with Obama. I felt sorry when they talked to Obama like this. He did not have dementia. Don't like his politics. He wrecks my health care. But I think he could have taken a tough question at some point during his 4 years. It's even more embarrassing, I suppose, with Biden, because I'm not sure he could take a tough question.
And Mrs. Biden, you know, they build her up like she's Albert Einstein. She's Dr. Jill Biden. You know, she's an English teacher at a community college. And they act like she's...
the doctor is fake. This is something that has always annoyed, I think, all people of reason and goodwill. Doctors are MDs. Just because you get a master's degree, you cannot go around calling yourself doctor. I've known this since I was a small child, and some teacher at my high school was insisting on being called doctor. My parents wouldn't directly say anything, but I could just tell from the look on my father's face. She's not a doctor. She's not a doctor.
Ann Coulter, aren't you?
Lawyer. You know, it shows.
You're a lawyer, aren't you?
Yeah, it's purely based on massive insecurity. It's like these idiots who pay whatever it is, $50,000 a year to go to the Harvard Kennedy School, which has an acceptance rate of 1 to 1. But for $50,000, you can go around telling people you went to Harvard and just hope they don't ask which school. Oh, what year undergrad were you? No. I'm an idiot who paid $50,000 so I could go around claiming I went to Harvard. It's the same thing with these, and there's nothing. I'm not condemning necessarily, although 90% of masters and PhDs are utterly useless, will not help you or help the world at all. Particularly in the case of JDs, my own doctorate, utterly useless. But you do notice doctors never demand to be called doctors. Lawyers.
Yeah. Hey, that's a good point, though. The Harvard has like a money-making operation where you can go to this Kennedy School of Government. They even have an online course you can take. If you pay them enough money,
right,
you can run around saying, yes, I studied at Harvard. I was at Harvard. And for those of you who want to do that, if you want to be like a Dr. Jill Biden and get some meaningless credentials, you can do that.
Yeah, it's like Oberman going to the agriculture school at Cornell. There are 7 schools at Cornell. It's very unusual, really fun school. But only one of them is the Ivy League institution, the only one you get a Bachelor of Arts from, BA. The rest are BSs. And by the way, really smart kids go to the agriculture school. It's upstate New York. There are a lot of future veterinarians and farm owners go there. But you also get a lot of kids who can't get into the Ivy League Cornell going to the ag school, which is fine. But I finally blew up and wrote a column about it because you don't then go around sneering at other people's academic credentials, as Keith Oberman did, and bragging about having attended an Ivy League university. No, you didn't. You went to the old McDonald's Cornell.
Yeah, and I remember, didn't Oberman come in and hold up his diploma to you on camera?
Yes, it was one of my greatest triumphs. It would be like saying, no, the Yale locksmithing school is not technically the Ivy League University, and the guy presents his degree for the Yale locksmithing school.
Well, I remember Oberman pretended it was the same thing to go to the Cornell Agricultural School, but he never was able to explain to the audience why he did that. Obviously, he couldn't get into the real one because no one thinks he wanted to really devote his life to farming, and that's why he went there.
Right, or become a veterinarian.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of really smart kids go there, but it is well known for people who matriculate the difference in the school. Some of them are better than the art school, the engineering school, the architecture school. Very, very impressive schools, but there are 7 different schools, and he was walking around acting like he's, a Marshall scholar.
Hey, can you explain Governor Cuomo to us? The state is totally bankrupt. It's like $63 billion in debt, biggest crime spike in history. The nursing home scandal. We've got crime wave. We've got everything has gone wrong. How does he still get away with looking like he's a great leader?
I don't think he is. I've been sort of pleased in this time of division and rancor that Republicans and Democrats have finally found an issue to come together on. Everybody hates Andrew Cuomo. Everyone is appalled at his handling of this crisis. And, oh, my gosh, what a fall from grace it is. As you and I talked about early on in this never-ending pandemic shutdown, these daft liberal women in New York were just slobbering over this guy, tuning into his press conference, listening to talk about spaghetti with mama. It was so cringeworthy, so embarrassing, and mostly for the way liberal women were reacting to it. So it's quite a fun thing to watch, his fall from grace.
And nobody ever stopped to say, in the middle of this crisis and this emergency, how does this guy have 2 hours to be on television every day? Yeah. Ron DeSantis, great governor. What does he do? 5 minutes, 10 minutes in the briefing? That's it. That's all you need.
Yeah. Yes, no, you're exactly right about that. They all want to be in Hollywood. They want to direct. Yes, I'm governor now, but please put me on TV.
But what does DeSantis do? He comes on for 5 minutes. Here's the most important things you need to know, and that's it. I got to get back to work. Cuomo is showing you charts for an hour and a half, intubations in the Finger Lakes region, and all this stuff.
That's a good imitation. No, you're right. And Governor DeSantis, I mean, he's just so unbelievably impressive. Here's something to look at, Republican voters. Okay, here's your IQ test. You got this governor. How's he handling the crisis? And wow, other than, 2-3 weeks of a shutdown, schools have been open in Florida this whole time. Restaurants have been open. People are going out, going to the beach. People are alive. They're not dying of suicide and opioid overdoses at record-breaking rates as they are in much of the rest of the country. And yet with a very old population, a lot older than New York, a lot older than California, the death rate from COVID is about half that of New York.
Yeah. Listen, there's no comparison. That's part of this town hall last night. They didn't ask about that. They didn't ask Biden. Texas, Oklahoma, they've tried all these green energy windmills, all that, and 3 million are without power. Nobody asked about that last night. Why don't the Democrats get on top of that?
Yes, I agree with you on that. Oh, my gosh, I feel so sorry for these people in Texas. It's just heartbreaking. Both surely if Trump were president, we'd be hearing a lot more about the people freezing to death in Texas. And it would 100% be any Republican president's fault. But I have to say, I'm not that impressed with the Republican governor going around saying, I'm demanding an answer from the Texas Energy Commission. Well, it's a little late for that. You're the governor. How did you allow this to happen?
Well, he's been taking Cuomo lessons, I think. Act like it's some third party. That, hey,
look, maybe
we're out
he
of
has
time.
a good excuse, but I think it's horrible what's happening in Texas, and I hope people are held responsible.
Yeah, we're out of time, but everybody go to AnnCoulter.com. Follow Ann Coulter on Twitter, and you get the new column tonight. And, I've been reading the book Demonic. Boy, does this apply today, the mob mentality of Democrats. If you haven't read Ann Coulter's books, get them all, Demonic or whatever. Just go to AnnCoulter.com, AnnCoulter.com. A lot of good stuff up there.
And Coulter, you will know more about our revolution than Nikki Haley does.
Oh, okay. Yes, we need to get to the bottom of what she's up to. What a snake. Anyway, AnnCoulter.com. Ann Coulter, thanks for being with us.
Good to talk to you, Mark. Bye-bye.
Take care.